Welcome back to another exciting episode of the most rare and valuable coins in the United States. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 most valuable pennies that you can find in your pocket change, and if identified correctly, can be worth some insane amounts of money. Even though these aren't your average pieces of currency, just about anyone can find these coins if you do know what to look for, and in this video we will explore the historical context surrounding the production of these holy grail pennies and delve into why they hold such importance in American numismatic history. Additionally, we will discuss any distinguishing and identifying features, their significance among collectors, and also the potential value if you were ever to discover a legitimate example. Before I do get into this, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also ring that bell notification so you can follow along with my new content as it is being released. And make sure to stay to the end of the video if you would like to find out which is the most valuable penny that you can find. And then without further ado, what do you say we get right into it and break down my picks for the top 10 most valuable pennies. Let's get it, guys. So as I start this list off, I'm going to work my way from number 10 being the least valuable all the way up to number 1 being the most rare and valuable American penny that you can find. Another thing I quickly want to mention, which I don't bring up in enough of my penny videos, is actually the color grading of pennies. Pennies can be given 3 different color designations. They can be designated as brown, red-brown, and red. Red is the most desirable and valuable of the 3 color designations. The red-brown color designation is considered more the middle ground as it's a mix between the 2 different color designations, and then brown is the least valuable and desirable of the 3 colors. And usually when you find a penny that has a brown color designation, it means that it has seen some pretty heavy wear and circulation, and in most cases when you are getting red grades on your pennies, it means they are going to be uncirculated. So just keep in mind for all of the pennies that I discuss on this list, if you want to be able to get the maximum amount of money for this coin, you want it to be in uncirculated condition and you want it to also have the red color designation. So all of that being said, what do you say we start this list off with number 10, which is going to be the 1931 Esmin Lincoln Cent. Produced during the Great Depression when coin production was significantly reduced, the 1931 S Lincoln Cent from the San Francisco Mint is considered a scarce semi-key date coin. With a mintage of only 866,000, it is valued at around $65 if it is beat up, worn, and been put through the meat grinder, and you can get anywhere from $100 to maybe $1,000 if it scores in the high MS range. And to identify it, you want to flip over to the obverse of the coin and take a look underneath the date of 1931 and look for a little S mint mark, which will indicate that it was struck in San Francisco. Number 9 is going to be one of the more modern Lincoln Cents on this list, and that is the 1972 DDO Lincoln Cent. This coin is considered a notable double die variety, and it hails from the year 1972. The doubling on the obverse side, particularly evident in the date and in the words Liberty, makes it highly sought after by collectors. While there are various classifications for the 1972 double die pennies, the rarest and most coveted is typically categorized as Class 1 or Class I, and it can fetch around $200 in circulated grades and $300 or more if you find one in uncirculated condition. And that is for the 1972 DDO Lincoln Cent. Number 8 is going to be the 1909 S VDB Lincoln Cent. Among the most famous 20th century coins is the 1909 S VDB Lincoln Cent. Featuring the coin designer's initials Victor David Brenner, the coin has an extremely low mintage of 484,000, making it highly coveted by collectors. Even for a beat up and worn example of this coin, you can fetch around $600, with an uncirculated example being worth anywhere from a couple thousand all the way up to $10,000 in the high MS range. And that is for the 1909 S VDB Lincoln Cent. Now, to identify the VDB initials on the 1909 wheat penny, what you need to do is flip over to the reverse and take a look on the bottom of the coin, and there should be some small initials VDB. And then you want to flip over to the obverse, take a look under the date, and look for the little S mint mark, which will indicate that it was struck in San Francisco. Number 7 on this list is going to be the only Indian cent that we actually cover, and that is going to be the 1909 S Indian cent. The lowest mintage circulation strike of the Indian cent or penny series, the 1909 S, is an exceptionally rare piece with only 309,000 pieces ever struck. Even well-worn specimens of this coin start at around $300, while prices for uncirculated pieces can climb up above the $1,000 mark easily. This coin holds a special place in numismatic history due to its scarcity and significance within the Indian cent series. So to identify the S mint mark, what you want to do is flip over to the reverse of the coin and take a look underneath the bow or wreath for a little S mint mark, which will indicate that the coin was struck at San Francisco. Then you want to flip over to the obverse, take a look at the date, and you are looking for the date of 1909. Number 6 on this list is going to be the 1955 DDO Lincoln Cent. Considered one of the most popular varieties ever struck, the 1955 double die Lincoln Cent caused a sensation when it first entered circulation. The heavy doubling in the inscriptions, such as Liberty and also on the date, make it instantly recognizable. Even in well-worn condition, these coins are valued at around $1,000 or more, with uncirculated specimens fetching $2,000 to $500 in the high mint state range. Now, to identify the doubling on this coin, what you want to do is flip over to the obverse and take a look at the date, and it should look like the date was struck onto the coin twice. The two dates will be very close to each other, so it may almost have a 3D appearance. Now, this is a true double die. In a lot of the Canadian coin videos I make, I will discuss coins with machine doubling, but that is not the same case as the DDO Lincoln Cent. This coin was actually struck twice inadvertently, which caused the date to be imprinted twice right next to each other. Number 5 is going to be the 1914 Denver Mint Lincoln Cent. Regarded as another key date alongside the iconic 1909 S VDB penny, the 1914 D is highly sought after by collectors. With a super low mintage of just 1,193,000, finding specimens that have survived as an extremely rare occurrence, with high-grade examples being even more scarce. If you are able to find one that's pretty beat up, worn, and been put through the meat grinder, you can still get around $150 for this coin, with higher grade examples fetching around $2,000 to $5,000 if it hits in the high mint state region. Now, to identify this coin, you want to flip over to the obverse, take a look under the date of 1914, and you want to look for a little D mint mark, which will indicate that it was struck at the Denver Mint. Number 4 is going to be the 1922 plain Lincoln Cent. These coins were initially assumed to have been struck at the Philadelphia Mint due to the lack of a mint mark, but research later revealed that all of the 1922 Lincoln Cents were actually struck in Denver. Heavy die polishing resulted in the obliteration of the D mint mark on some pennies, making them highly sought after by collectors. Low-grade examples of these coins can fetch around $500 or more, with uncirculated examples being worth around $10,500 if they score in the high mint state range. And that is for the 1922 plain. So to identify this, you want to flip over to the obverse, take a look under the date, and there should be no mint mark. Most of the 1922s will have a D mint mark. Number 3 is going to be the 1969 S DDO Lincoln Cent. This is considered among the most valuable of the double die varieties ever produced. Experts estimate that only a handful of specimens of this coin exist, making it extremely rare and highly valuable at over $30,000. The doubling is visible on the obverse side, particularly in the inscription Liberty, and also on the date, but not on the mint mark, which was added manually after the hubbing process. Currently, only around 30 of these coins are known to exist. Now, to identify the 1969 S, you want to flip over to the obverse, take a look under the date for a little S mint mark, and then you want to also take a look at the date and the inscription for Liberty and identify doubling, which will make it appear as if the date is 3D or struck twice. Number 2 on this list is going to be the 1944 Steel Lincoln Cent. The 1944 Steel Lincoln Cent is as rare as its 1943 bronze counterpart. These coins were struck on leftover steel planchettes from the previous year, and the date of 1944 was inadvertently stamped on these steel planchettes. These 1944 steel pennies are valued at approximately $75,000 to $125,000 each. Even being in a low-grade condition, this is still a holy grail coin that is going to fetch you probably 5 figures. They are extremely sought after by collectors due to their scarcity. It is also probably one of the most counterfeited coins in existence. People have searched through piles and piles of pennies to be able to find a legitimate example of one of these. So if you do ever find one, I definitely suggest that you get a second opinion, because chances are in modern days it probably is a counterfeit, but you never know. It's always good to be armed with a little bit of knowledge so you don't accidentally let a gem slip back into the wilds of circulation. Now we have made it to number 1 on this list, which is going to be the yin to the 1944 steel pennies yang, and that is the 1943 bronze Lincoln Cent. During World War II, the US Mint switched to zinc-coated steel for the Lincoln Cents to conserve copper for the war effort. However, a few of these pennies were accidentally struck on bronze planchettes from the previous year by mistake. With only around 24 known legitimate examples, these coins are extremely rare and can command prices of up to $125,000. So if you find one of these and it's in a low-grade condition, you're still going to be getting around $25,000 to $50,000. This is the holy grail that most American penny collectors would love to have in their collection, and it is also one of the most counterfeited coins of all time. If you guys are on Facebook and in any of the coin groups, you'll probably see people on almost a daily basis posting pictures of the 1943 bronze Lincoln Cent, claiming that they found it in their pocket change, but chances are they probably just went on an online auction site like AliExpress and paid $1 for it, and they're just looking for a little bit of clout. So if you do find any of these coins, I definitely suggest that you get a second opinion before you do ever send them off to be graded or invest any of your hard-earned money into them, but at the same time, it is good to know what to look for. Now, what do you guys think about my picks for the top 10 American pennies? Do you feel like I left any coins out of this list, or if you have ever found any of the coins that I discussed in this video, let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also ring that bell notification so you can follow along with my new content as it is being released. But I think that is pretty much going to do it for this one, folks. So until the next one, everybody, peace out and have a good one, yo.